beautiful people, thank you for coming back for the second part of this video. I really appreciate it. But we're going to go on to the interior of the Atlantis build. And I was going to leave the windows open for you because near where I live we're overpopulated with birds, in my opinion, and it's a really lovely and pretty sound. But we also have an airport near us, so I think that it would be better for you. I don't think you'd be able to hear me over the plane when it comes past. So unfortunately no birds today. But we have got to build. So I was actually having trouble when building this. This is going to be a restaurant, by the way. There's going to be a restaurant, a bar, a hangout area, a club, a lounge, all sorts of normal, venues, and a cafe, I think, if I haven't said that already. But then also areas where it can be just a normal house, so it can be used for any sort of thing that you want to, and that was kind of my idea. But you'll see that I was having trouble with putting the wallpaper on. For some reason I get that throughout the build, so actually I cut out quite often how often I had to re-put in, because you'll see in this corner, you've probably seen me maybe twice already do the wallpaper for it. I have to do it again because it disappears. But anyway, and actually during this, while I was actually building this bit, I was on my way to my boyfriend's house, and it was a 3-hour train journey, and the train stations have been having strikes and delays recently, and my train was delayed, and so I had like a transfer in London. And once I then got to the station, because my train was late, I missed the next train by about 30 seconds. And possibly the reason I missed it is because when I was looking for train times, the platform which my train was supposed to be on, none of the trains had like the platforms there. When they have those big boards which say from this place to this place, and then it has the platform. It didn't say the platform, so I had to run around like a headless chicken, try and find where my train might be, and I missed it by 30 seconds, but it's okay because I managed to get on the next one. But I did have to sit around in London in the train station for about an hour, but that's what I built this bit of the Atlantis castle city during this time, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit disjointed and stuff like that, but I tried my best despite being in that kind of situation. There was a leak in the ceiling and it was dripping on the seat next to me, and I kept having to warn people not to sit there so that they didn't get completely sodden, because it was like dripping with water. But yeah, anyway, onto the actual build. So you saw me, I whizzed past doing the restaurant and I didn't really talk about it, but you'll see that I did it there. And this is kind of like, I guess it would be like a living room or a lounge, but it also doubles as like a movie hangout kind of room. And I've tried to pick objects mostly which are blue to start with, but things where I've carried on the mosaic into this room because it's kind of like an outdoorsy room. But patterns that look like waves maybe I've tried to use, or things that maybe might be doubled as, I don't know, like here I did like seaweed. I thought that maybe it might look like seaweed, so I've layered them up all over each other, but I've actually done that in a few places, and I debated doing that elsewhere, like adding to the outside, because that's when I came up with the idea of using the seaweed like that. But I thought that actually that might ruin it, and I thought that it was fine as it was on the outdoors. But if you ever do want to do an underwater build that has like seaweed or whatever, climbing up sides or just floating around or something, maybe using those lights from, I think they were from the party one. I can't remember what it's called, the one that most people didn't buy, that one, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called. But in this small little space behind here, I tried to make it look like some sort of, almost like maybe like a beachside cafe where it was like the worn woods, and maybe it was like slightly a little bit hipster maybe, but that was my idea with it. I don't know, I don't think it really went possibly what I had planned, but I'm actually kind of happy with how it turned out anyway. I didn't know what to put on the walls because there were so many windows, and it was really odd shape to do it in, but it was kind of a challenge, so I enjoyed it. But yeah, so we've got the little cafe here, and I experimented with doing these little plant pots around the side, but I thought that actually they might get in the way of people trying to sit down on the chairs, so actually I put them by the stairs in the end, and the Sims walk past them fine and there's no problem. But you'll see that I'm actually using quite a lot of objects from the Dine Out pack, just because so much of it was really useful in this build. A lot of it was things to do with the seaside or like a seafood restaurant, so there were a lot of things which really mixed in well with the kind of, I guess, aesthetic that I was trying to go for. But I put on these blinds, and I don't know, they don't look that great, but I wanted it to sort of look worn and old in here, in this little bit, and I thought that the texture might actually be quite nice as like an addition to this little area. But I want to thank you guys. Some of you probably have already left, but I want to thank you guys so much for all of the amazing feedback that I got off the first part. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I'm doing builds, I start to doubt myself, and I think, oh, is this really actually any good, sort of thing, and have I wasted all my time putting this much effort into a build? Was it really actually worth it? But hearing you guys say all those lovely things did make it worth it, and I really appreciate your support, and thank you again for coming back for the second part. I really appreciate that too, and sticking around this long. But I wanted to do sort of a area on this bit that was sort of layered up and sort of went round the window, but because the window was rounded at the top, it was kind of making it difficult, and I wanted to use lots of different types of objects. But in the end, I went for these ones from Get Together and just piled them up next to each other, the sort of coffee things, instead of trying to add in other sort of textures and different I guess shelving, whatever they would be, with pre-made objects inside. I wanted to add in more stuff, but I didn't. With this area, we don't actually have a kitchen in like a proper kitchen in this lot, because this works like when your Sims want to build, you've got a fridge there. I mean, when your Sims want to cook, build, what am I on about? When your Sims want to cook, they have the fridge there, and they can prepare food, whatever food they want, on that kitchen area where you would normally have a restaurant. So if you don't have the Dine Out pack, you will have a lot of items missing from the inside of this the Atlantis thing, and possibly from the whole thing. I'm not entirely sure how much on the outside was actually from Dine Out, but on the inside you'll have quite a bit missing, but you might have to put in maybe that area where it is a restaurant, you can just convert that into a kitchen, keep the same sort of aesthetic going on, and just change little bits maybe. But up here, this is where the dance floor for the nightclubby sort of area is going to be, and if you see all these lights going around, I actually got inspired by lovely Moon Bunny. She did a nightclub build, and she changed all of the lights so that they were different colours. I think she put all of hers pink, but for mine I've done them lots and lots of different sort of shades of blue and green, because I thought that might look quite cool. But you'll see I'm putting in the flowers here, and if you've watched some of my other builds, I put those flowers in pools sometimes, because Sims can swim through them. They can also walk through them fine, but it turns out that apparently they can't actually do they can't interact with objects that have that by them. For some reason, they can walk through it but not actually use items in that area. This little bit, so I had to take them out later, but this little bit I actually recorded, and I actually recorded this whole room, but I wanted to redo it. But there was this little part with the bar and the little seating area, those were the parts which I wanted to keep the same, but I lost the footage, so you saw a little time lapse. That's probably the first time I've ever done like a little time lapse, but I hope that it was sort of blended in well with the rest of what I was doing. And what I did is I deleted them all and then pressed the undo button and just recorded that. But I'm sorry if it was a little bit dodgy or a little bit weird. I've never done that before. I think it's really cool when people do that though. It gives a really amazing effect. I don't know whether, I mean it shows all the objects, but I don't know whether people who like to learn how to build, I don't know whether it would give the same effect, or maybe it would. Maybe it still would teach people how to build, I'm not sure. But I guess you don't get to see the sort of experimentation of people trying to move things around and see things where things are. You just see more of the finished product, which is really great for a lot of people, and that's probably what they want to watch. But possibly people wanting to learn how to get better at building, that might not be the case. I don't know though. Leave your opinions down below on that subject. What is better, time-lapse or sped up builds? But yeah, so this area I wanted to do as a lounge too, so I ended up, it's sort of like a bar and a lounge, so I put in this area where it's got like instruments and stuff, and I originally again put the flowery thing there, but your Sims couldn't use it, so I took that away, and we ended up just having the stuff that kind of looks like blue seaweed. We just kept that there instead, and you'll see that I put that there in a minute. But I get rid of the blue on the floor, I think, and I put a rug there instead. I don't know whether I take away the blue on the floor, actually. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see what I do, because I've forgotten. I'm experimenting with things. I think I'm taking it away now. Or at least the thing around the outside. But what I tried to do was... if you've seen some of maybe my other builds, I've done St. Paul's Cathedral, and well, I think that's the best example, where there's not really a strict aesthetic for what the inside would be, so I've gone for something that's quite colourful and wacky, because the outside is quite wacky, especially the other one was really, really colourful, so I just made the inside of St. Paul's Cathedral St. Basil's Cathedral, I'm really, really sorry. St. Basil's Cathedral, I made the inside really, really wacky, so it's kind of what I've done here, but I've kind of, like, the lights, they kind of look like scales to me, and they're blue, and then we've got the seaweed going around, and I thought adding a hint of purple might be quite nice, it's like a sea anemone thing. That was my idea behind it. I don't know whether actually maybe a more traditional style might have done better in here, but I thought because it is so wacky and it was a lost world, and I also wanted to add some modern aspects to it so that you and your Sims could enjoy this to its full capabilities maybe. But this is supposed to be like the entrance area to the house. The living room is kind of like an outdoor living room, but you kind of walk through that to get into the house. But this big room over here is the master bedroom, and we'll have like a computer area in here, and I fiddle around and play with the beds again, because we haven't got any new double beds at this point. I built this before the kids stuff came out. So we've got a new beds, which are single beds but not double beds, so I had to sort of make things up with the new dine out pack, and I used the sign which you normally put restaurant names on as the headboard, and then behind it I used the new sort of water fountain thing. I also used the room divider with the circle hole in it and put another water fountain behind that because I thought it would look quite cool. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Same lights again as before. And what else do I do? Let's see. Let's wait and see. I think I'm going to go onto the desk area, maybe? No. I'd try out and put like a spa in here, or a jacuzzi, whatever you call it. But I tried to put that in because I thought that actually that might be quite cool. But it was massive, and I thought it took too much of the room up. But there's something that I've been wanting to do since I saw these items in Dine Out, and that was that you can layer up the tables because some are higher than others. And so I put some chairs there so that you could use the items. I don't know whether the higher up one, whether you'd be able to use the computer there, because I'm not sure whether the chair would have to be pulled onto the table more. But if you moved it along one, like half a block, it might work. I'm not sure, but I know that the other computer desk definitely works. So yeah, if you need your Sims to save some money, you can delete that other computer. But I think really, if you have this lot, you've cheated, really, haven't you, to get this much money to afford it. I think, I'm not entirely sure how much it was, but it was something like 600 or 700,000. I don't know. I've never been able to earn that much money in The Sims off any of my families ever. Maybe through like several generations you'd be able to do that, but I think it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know. But yeah, I think that really you'd have to cheat to have this lot. But you'd have to earn so much money. Like every single day you'd have to have like 8 Sims, or earning like the maximum on the maximum careers, and you probably still wouldn't be able to afford the bills. Really. I don't know. But if you want to cheat, you can use this. Enlighten me. If you guys have been able to do like the generations and that kind of thing, have you been able to afford houses that are ridiculously expensive like this? Let me know in the comments if you've been able to do it, because I've never been able to get through like the 10 years or whatever, or 10 generations, I mean. This bedroom is a wacky and really colourful one. So it's really bright, maybe sort of clashing colours, but I kind of love that. I kind of tried to make them go, and maybe it's a little bit trashy for some of you, but I think that it's awesome. And I put in a little jukebox, and there's like an art easel in this room and a guitar, so this is like a really creative person that would live here. And we've got that big plant from Dine Out again, and the big poster from, well, I guess it's kind of like a tapestry, the big tapestry from movie Hangout again. I've used that again, like I was saying earlier. I like using the movie Hangout stuff for these types of builds, because they are so colourful and wacky, and it feels like it fits to me. I feel like possibly some people think that for everyday sort of builds that actually those are a little bit too wacky to use. I disagree, but at least for this, because the whole build is wacky, it kind of makes sense to me. But yeah, this is the little artist corner that we put in here. But you'll see, I was thinking about maybe putting in a like a little ensuite in there, but you'd have to walk through the ensuite to get to the room, and that didn't quite make sense to me. So there's actually the little towers that go all around the main big tower. They're actually all most of them are bathrooms. So there's a couple which are just toilets, and then you've got like a shower one and a bath one, and possibly another shower one, I'm not entirely sure. And then there's a toilet downstairs as well. So on the gallery I said that this has 3 bathrooms, but technically it has more, but it only has 3 with toilets in. And then we have like another sort of 2 miscellaneous type of rooms where they're yeah, I guess I'll just talk about it when I get to it. But here I'm using the trick thing that I did last time when I did the St. Basil's Cathedral, where I used the chair and all the pillows and stuff to make the headrest for the children's bed. And you may think that this is a bit weird, because to get to this last room, you have to get through these 2 other rooms, and this is sort of like a play area, but you have to get through the other room. And I actually thought that if they were kids, that would be awesome, because up on the towers with the bridges connecting them, that would be like an awesome hangout sort of area for them, and they'd feel like proper adventurers up in the top of the castle sort of thing, and they'd want to spend time in each other's rooms. That's what I felt anyway. I thought that actually it would be really sweet and really cute that they would spend time with each other. If you end up making Sims for this lot, you'll have to show me. Maybe tag my name or something under a hashtag or something like that, or just send it to me on Twitter, and maybe I can see, if you put in the description that you thought that maybe these Sims would work well on the Atlantis, then you can show me that. But I did actually make the characters from the Atlantis Disney film, so not all of them are, well, there's no kids in that, so maybe they would be the two main characters, I think they get married, so maybe you could make their kids or something like that to live in this little area. But I'll leave that up to you. If you want to do that, then you do that. But yeah, so we put a little playroom in the middle so that they've got more sort of toys and stuff like that. And these were the bathrooms that I was talking about, but I just put them in. And then the miscellaneous builds, I put all the rooms. I put one where it's kind of like a dishwasher and like a what did I put in there? I was just gonna like leave you for the rest of the build, but we'll find out. Let's go and find out what I did. So I put in a shower in this one and some towels, and in this one I put in a bath with a little carpet underneath. I was thinking about putting them as whole bathrooms, but actually it was so difficult to fit in a toilet, sink and shower into that small space. You could do it, but I thought that the Sims wouldn't really be able to use it that well, so I decided not to. Okay, moment of truth. What did I do with these rooms? Okay, so I put in the dishwasher thing, like I said, and then some side cabinets, a popcorn machine, and a tea machine thing, a tea maker, and then some crockery. Oh, and then this one I do some like random skill building items, I think. So I use that sort of science thing, and my dog is whimpering outside the door. I'm gonna go let her in because I don't want her to be sad. Hello, Mama. She's come in and said hello. You might have seen her before when sorry if I was talking really close to the microphone then. You might have seen her before when I had my cooking video. She was in it. Sorry. But here we have like a little well. We have some flowers around it. I thought that that was quite mystical, and I wanted to use up this room and I didn't know what to use it as, so that's what I did for it. And then the other one, I think I do like a little barbecue area, like an outdoor barbecue area. And then there's just some seating all around. And I think after that, it's pretty much done. So thank you very, very much for watching, guys. And hopefully see you again soon.